So I'm going to show you how we are going to play DE train in our ESCA matches. So I'm going to show you guys the B strat and the A strat. I'm going to show you the smokes and how the execute goes, and that way we can focus on our executes and timings rather than, you know, having to explain the strat 5 or 6 times. That way if you have any questions especially, you can just go back and watch this video, and hopefully that'll help you out. So, first things first, I'm going to explain basically how the B strat's going to go down, or how the B exec's going to go down rather, and then I'm going to show you all the smokes and give you the roles that everybody's going to end up doing. So essentially we're going to smoke here, we're going to smoke here, and we're going to smoke here. Alright, we're going to throw these 3 smokes. We're going to have our entry and our planter going to come out this direction. Right, they're going to head, one's going to plant obviously, and then our entry fragger is going to hook behind oil, and he's going to take some pot shots at CT. And then our third frag, he's going to head up this way, and I'll show you some cheeky stuff that he has to do. With the last 2 players playing clutch, one is the support player, and then the other is going to be our lurker. So in this case, I'll be the support player, because I'm opping, I might hang back. And then we'll have our lurker, and he's going to be throwing the Z smoke. So let's break it down. So I'll show you the smokes that need to get thrown, and I'll show it to you from the entry fragger's perspective, and then move my way through. So as far as the smokes that need to be thrown, first things first, we have our Z smoke. In order to throw this smoke, you come to this black notch in the wall. You'll see it. It's pretty standout. Come there. Just leave your crosshair on the bottom of the wall in this 3rd cube, and take a few steps forward while run tossing, and it should land perfectly on top of the plat. Then for our lane smoke, you see this T. It's a really faded vertical line, but you can definitely see it. For the lane 1 smoke, come here, go halfway vertically between this first column, I guess, of cubes up to the bottom of the roof, and just left click. It's an easy ass toss, and it's gonna land exactly where we need it. Perfect, cutting off that lane. And then our entry fragger, he's going to toss himself this smoke to go into backup hop dog. I like to crouch walk while throwing it. It gives it that little extra oomph without throwing it a little far. This one's a little shallow, obviously. Realistically, you want it in this area, but I mean, this will do fine. So from the entry fragger's perspective, he's going to throw this smoke at the same time that the other 2 players are throwing this smoke. The support player, who's holding a Molotov for clutch, and the lurker, who after throwing this smoke is going to head up and watch the ladder push, and I'll show you some spots for that as well. So he's going to come here, he's going to throw himself the sidewalk smoke, and he can throw himself a cute... I moved out of the way because I don't want to get flashed by UC. It's easy, you just aim right over here, little run toss, bounces down. He's going to come down, he's going to swing out wide. They're going to try and take whatever fights they need to take. Best case scenario, he ends up back oil and can go from here. While running up as well, if you know, if we get an early pick, let's say we catch the guy's sidewalk, or you know, we catch him spools, something like that, and we know he's clear, then you can put your gun away and you can go for some cheeky flash like that, just to secure yourself into oil, awaiting essentially the next set of flashes, the next barrage of flashes that are coming. Bomber, he's going to follow the entry out, he's going to get that trade frag, he's going to plant, back sight, and then he can back up and he can start tossing flashes over the top. At the same time those flashes are going off, just deep flashes, that's... Oops, it is. I can't. There you go. That's the same time that we can have our entry fragger hook behind and try and get a free pick, and then fall back. The third frag, he's got the kind of the cheekiest role. He hasn't used his smoke yet, and neither has the planner, by the way, so he can save his smoke for whatever he needs to. This smoke is going to be here that the entry fragger threw, right? And what our third fragger is gonna do is he's gonna come over here and he's gonna listen for sound. He's gonna make good calls, you know. He's all about the comms. Now, about halfway through the duration of this, after the plant, you're going to see this barrage of flashes going off. He's going to right-click a flash, get himself through the smoke, and try and catch somebody. And before the Z smoke fades, it's important. He's going to re-smoke himself and deliver himself a little bit further up sidewalk. Now, it puts himself in a great position because you're gonna. This is about the time that you're gonna see players on top of terrains pushing to start trying clutch the round. And if he can get himself a frag or 2 early frags, we're gonna put ourselves in a great spot. If everything goes well, I mean, we're gonna be fragging hard. We're gonna be deep B, and we're gonna have some people in awesome positions back of oil. As far as our support player goes, which would be me in this case. If I get a call, I'm gonna op peek on top of train. But if anything happens, I might double up with the lurker. You know, I'm kind of that utility role. But the most important part is that I'm holding this Molotov, so that I can always be on clutch, right? Lastly, on this strat, our lurker, quote unquote, be watching this ladder push. And so you can watch it from where Get Right watches it and JW watch it, which is from way back here. You just barely expose that red checkered line, and you'll be able to see everybody that comes out of ladder guaranteed, and they won't be able to see you, so you're going to get a huge jump on people. You can also hop on top of the shower head if you think they're going to aggro on you, but again, not super recommended. And if you're willing to take this fight, you can work off angles, you know, and go from there. I guess this is really freeform. Just make sure they don't come up ladder realistically, and good comms are going to win us this round. So yeah, so that's our B take. Should work out well. Again, we took this from, like, we're going to try and emulate what Dignitas did to Navi, and it worked for them, so we'll go from there. There's also a couple key notes I want to bring up really quick before I forget about B. If we go into kind of a vanilla take, we could throw this smoke, and then you'll be able to pick, obviously, on top. That's something a little bit more for me, and obviously this boost we'll try and make use of as well, if we know they like the top of the trains. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you our A take on train now. It's kind of a bullish strat. It's really quick, but if we can make it work, we're going to be able to take A outside pretty regularly. A lot of teams do it, Cloud9, Dignitas. A lot of teams have it in their back pocket. We've seen it on one-off plays because it's so simple. So we'll be able to pull it off for sure, and we'll go from there. So first things first, I'll explain what the entry fragger and second fragger are doing. They're knife out all the way to T-Hell lane. They're going to try and hop out. The entry fragger is going to molly back of green train, and then he's going to be gun out all the way up to T-Hell. And he's going to relax for a bit until the molly obviously fades. And then he's going to take some fights in this back lane of stop and back bomb. Second fragger is going to be following him out. As he's mollying, he's going to smoke Ivy. And then he's going to come over here, and then he can flash twice over for him. You'll be able to smoke Ivy as well, because the molly will be landing pretty shallow here. And after he throws that smoke, those smokes and flashes, he can hop on top of green train if they've gotten some entries. Otherwise, he's going to take some double peeks here and also help watch the Ivy smoke push. The third player definitely has, the third fragger on this definitely has the hardest roll out of everybody. He's throwing a pretty easy smoke, which you line up by just coming over here, having this wall kind of on your screen somewhere, and aiming at the center of this roof. It's pretty forgiving. You can land pretty much anywhere in this vicinity, and it'll work. Essentially, it smokes off deep sandwich by just bouncing off the brown train. The thing that makes that so difficult, though, is that he's going to have to be part of the entry force whilst also throwing this smoke. So, as all three are running out, he's going to go as fast as he can. Smash his face on the wall for a sec, do this, and then be out with them. And you're going to be able to see them. He's then going to hop on top of blue train and start taking fights at stop or over here and just assisting with the whole thing. The only thing he's really got to be weary about are the 2 flashes that are coming over from the other entry. And yeah, other than that, should be pretty easy to get some flash kills. As far as the flash kills go, the remaining 2 players are going to come over here. The first one is going to sit here and throw 2 flashes over, like that. And one more player is going to come over here and he's going to flash that direction. The person who threw 1 flash is going to come out with the second flash that the other guy throws and clear over here behind bomb train and take care of ladder. Now the important part is that this guy who's handling the ladder, he's got kind of the most important role. As long as he wins these 1v1s back of bomb, you essentially win the strat. The 5th guy, the one who was throwing the 2 flashes, he can either run through the smoke here, the sandwich smoke for lack of a better term, the lane 1 smoke. He can run through that lane 1 smoke and go super aggro if we're getting entries. Otherwise, he can stick back bomb, or I mean stick near brown train E-box, and then get ready to make his move. He's also going to be the one holding the bomb on the strategy as well. So whether it's a little bit later in the round or after this smoke fades, whatever, as long as we get bomb down. It's more about guns than it is getting a bomb plan on this strat. It's more about getting those frags. So yeah, so essentially what's gonna end up looking like is we're gonna have a smoke here, tons and tons of flashes. From a CT's perspective, we'll be given no options. They won't see anybody E-box. Flashes are gonna be raining in. They're gonna get whited and play back bomb. The entry fragger has got to win these 1v1s. This is what's important. But we do have somebody up on blue train to assist. Oopsie daisies. Do have somebody up on top of blue train to assist in any way he can. And the ladder player should get some easy pickings back here. It's important to note that the ladder player also has an additional flash and molly and stuff. And he can end up playing clutch with some pretty good positioning, especially since there's a blue train player as well. They can work out what they need to work. So yeah, it's a pretty easy strat, and I'm pretty sure we can pull it off, no problem.